Hello one and all, Jake here, and today I'm going to tell you guys about a nice tab management technique that I've been using that really helps me find tabs that I need quickly. So this technique doesn't require any downloads, any browser extensions, nothing like that. If you have one of the major browsers, you can already do this. And all the technique is when you're done with a tab, close it. Just close your tabs. Close those tabs. And that's it. That's the tip. Thanks for watching. Just kidding. It's not over yet. Now, there are a lot of normal people in the audience who probably don't even really understand what I'm even going on about with tab management. So I'm going to talk directly at those normal people for just a moment in order to get them all on the same page. So when you or I browse the internet, normally what happens is you open up one tab, you go to a website you want. Oh, there's a hyperlink to another website I'm slightly interested in seeing. Open up in a new tab. You end up accumulating like 4 or 5 tabs maybe. But then when you're done reading whatever web page you opened, you just close the tab. And when you're done with the internet browsing session for the day, you close your whole browser, all the tabs are gone. I mean, this is completely normal. Like 95% of the planet, if they're not doing this, they should be doing this. Like, this is a completely regular way to browse the internet. If you have a 2-monitor setup like me, you might even get spicy with it. Like, you have like 3 tabs on one monitor, 2 tabs on the other. And if I'm doing like a really deep, either I'm in a wiki hole or I'm doing some kind of research, then I might end up with like 8 or 9 tabs open. But by the end of the day, I always make sure to close all my tabs. Notice how even in this extreme circumstance, I haven't even gotten to the double digits yet. So you might be thinking, oh, maybe people have like 20 tabs open and it's all cluttered on top. You know, that's problematic, but it's not the end of the world. Well, folks, you don't even understand the magnitude of the problem here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my phone real quick and I'm gonna just search up how many tabs do you have open Reddit, because I feel like Redditors are the exact kind of person who would fall victim to the trap of tab hoarding. All right, let's see. There's this post from 4 years ago. So how many tabs do you have open? I have 800 tabs open and Chrome gets unstable at 900. I think the highest I've hit is in the 500 tabs range before Chrome crashed. Most about 400 tabs across maybe 25 something windows. So this person's tab hoarding and window hoarding. The fact that these people are reaching the technical limits of what Chrome is able to handle as far as their tabs go is a little bit concerning in and of itself. So we're talking about triple digits number of tabs here, all right? And it's not just like Redditors on the fringe who are doing this. This is like now a de facto normalized internet browsing style where you just don't close any tabs. You keep your tabs open. If you close the window, most browsers will reopen the tabs that you had open at the time. So if you don't make a conscious effort to get rid of the tabs, then, you know, they're just gonna be there. And I say it's been normalized because there's so many features and tools that people are developing and releasing all the time that seem to cater specifically to people who tab hoard and have like hundreds of tabs open. Even just on raw, you know, Opera, you have features that help you organize tabs by type of tab, and you can even search your tabs. Like, you enter a search string and then it looks for a page title that matches. You know what else lets you type in a search string to get to the web page you want to view? Google. If you're not feeling that, maybe DuckDuckGo. Close your tabs. So I know that the tabs you have recently opened will take up more space on the tab bar or something like that, so that you can access those pages more easily. And then like the tabs you've had open for a while, they kind of like coalesce into like a very small area that you then can click on and pour through. This is so absurd. Why don't you just close the tabs? And you may be thinking, but all the browsers, if they do have these features geared towards tab hoarding, like what's the problem? Why can't you tab hoard? Now that is a very misleading way to think about it, and I'm gonna give you guys a little history lesson. When I first started browsing the internet, I was like 6 or 7 or some other age that was way too young to be browsing the internet, and tabs weren't even a thing. Internet Explorer 6 did not have them. I think 7 was the first version of IE that had them, and you know, Firefox and Chrome eventually did follow suit and have tabs available, but if you wanted multiple pages open, like the only way to do it was just have multiple windows open. With tabs, you could just click a little area on the top of the screen where the tab is, and you could switch web pages with ease. And that's a very good thing. I think there's nothing wrong with making it easier to switch between web pages. It's perfect. Tabs are a great innovation, and we are better off with them for sure. Years later down the line, I guess people just started tab hoarding and it became a problem. So a lot of people started developing browser extensions with features like making your tabs searchable, or you know, having folders for tabs, stuff like that, to make it easier to tab hoard. Then all the major browsers decided to respond to the demand in front of them and adopted those features into the base application. This is not the major browsers saying, oh, this tab hoarding style is something that you should be doing. It's just like, okay, a lot of people are doing this, we should support it because our competitors are supporting it. So that's not a defense of tab hoarding. Now I'm gonna give some examples of things that tab hoarders have told me to defend their tab hoarding. These are not straw man arguments. This is actually things that people have said to me. So the simplest thing people say as a justification for why they can't just close their damn tabs is, well, I don't want to lose the web pages that I have open. Guess what? There's a little feature of browsers called history. Yeah, you can just look through your history and see all the websites you visited. You don't need to leave it open. Close your damn tabs. So one thing I've been told is that if I don't delete all my pictures and videos all the time, then I can't say anything about, you know, closing tabs. If you have the same attachment to a picture or video as you do to your browser tabs, then I'm sorry, you have an unhealthy relationship with internet browsing. Your instance of loading a web page should not be like that big of a deal to you. You should be able to close it, no problem, completely fine. If you do need that page again, hey, you could browse to it again. And if that's too inconvenient, guess what? There's a feature called bookmarks that has been there since before tabs existed. That's right, bookmarks before tabs. And you can organize bookmarks and you can search through them just like you can with all your tabs. Why not just free up some area on the top of your screen and use bookmarks? It's not that hard. Close your tabs. Now I've been told that you know, sometimes the order in which you open tabs is important. It kind of tells a story and provides some context to like why you were browsing those websites, and so you don't want to lose that. So, you know, you got to keep the tabs open. How many times has that come in handy? Like, genuinely, I don't think there's been a single time in my life when I've been like, oh my God, I completely forget the way I came across this web page. My whole night is ruined. Like, that's never happened to me. I don't even understand. The thing you are trying to preserve here is a phantom. It is spiritual in nature. It doesn't exist in this physical reality. There's no pragmatic reason why you cannot close your tabs. Close your tabs. Now, after arguing about this, you know, eventually some people will concede. They'll be like, okay, you're right. There's no major loss if I close these tabs, but there's no major gain either. Like, why should I close tabs at the end of each session if all these features exist to support, you know, my tab hoarding habit? Like, I'm not hurting anyone. Who are you to judge? Now, what I would love to do here is make like a Jordan Peterson type argument that you need to clean your browser window, or else it clouds up your mind and it ruins your psychology and it makes your psyche like a mess. but I have no research to actually support that. There's a much more pragmatic reason why you should close your tabs. It's so that your tab bar is usable. I don't care what features you're using, what tab management solutions you have available to you, which browser extensions you have installed. It doesn't matter. There's no way navigating through a mess of hundreds of tabs can ever possibly be easier than switching between 2 or 3 tabs. It's just not possible. There's no two ways about it. It's almost like free action to click on a tab. And to have that compromised in any way, shape, or form, I think is just unacceptable. So close your tabs. Just close your tabs. Close your tabs. Why won't you close your tabs? And I'll even make this point. I'm in the habit of, closing all my browser tabs at the end of a browsing session. This means that each time I leave the computer, I have to verify whether I actually need to keep that tab open or not. So the most common reason that people give for why they have all these tabs open is, oh, like if I open a page, sometimes I don't finish reading it. I'll want to go back and finish it off and then I'll close it. Well, okay, you have hundreds of tabs open though, so obviously that's never happening. Just close your tabs. Now, a lot of YouTubers at this point would be like, oh, if you're a tab hoarder, this is not meant as a personal attack on you. I'm personally attacking you. Like, I am going out of my way to deliberately violate the YouTube terms of service and attack you specifically for hoarding tabs. You need to stop doing this. You need to close your tabs. It's unacceptable. It's out of control. And you're hurting my soul and the soul of everyone around you. All of your family members, all of your friends feel exactly the same way. Even if they say they don't, they're too afraid to tell you. You need to close your tabs. You have a problem. You are too attached to the tabs you have open. You need to just be okay with closing them. Have you ever seen TLC's Hoarders? I feel like Hoarders kind of like has a place in the public consciousness, but very few people have ever actually watched an episode of Hoarders. It's just like a show that people know exists. Do yourself a favor, watch an episode of Hoarders. The things that people are saying about the trash they're hoarding in their house is exactly the same type of stuff that people say about the tabs they have kept open for months on end. It's actually pretty nuts. Stop what you're doing. If you have a bunch of tabs open that you're never actually going to get around to reading, close them. Just close them. Or maybe once a month do a spring cleaning where you go through all of your tabs, read through all the internet that you planned on reading through, and then close them. Like, you should have a clean slate at some point. It doesn't need to be right away. Even I will sometimes leave tabs open overnight. It's usually like no more than 3 or 4, but I understand you want to keep some things open and finish them off, but you need to actually follow through. You cannot just leave your tabs open in the ether forever. All right, so I think at this point you guys kind of get the picture. So the main takeaways are close your tabs. Close your tabs. Make sure at the end of your browsing session you close your tabs. And if you ever want to make things easier on yourself, close your tabs. And oh, how could I forget to mention? Close your tabs.